Hello, my art-loving friends. I am Deborah Kaye, and I welcome you to Paint with a Passion. Today, we're going to paint Spooky Girl's pet spider, Eudialyte. She's super easy and super fun. Eudialyte is a rare, incredibly beautiful, and rather dangerous gemstone. How is a gemstone dangerous, you ask? Well, this gem's mineral composition is actually radioactive. But it's said that Eudialyte has vitalizing energy and gives courage to its owner. How fitting, because you need serious courage to possess such a gem and keep such a pet. So if you're daring enough to keep a pet Eudialyte spider, you might want to keep her at a distance if radiation is a concern for you. Which it's not for Spooky Girl, because, well, you know, Spooky Girl isn't exactly in danger of radiation poisoning, now is she? Here's my recipe. You can pause here to gather what you need, or just refer to the list in the description area below this video. Get all your goodies together, and let's go make the magic happen as we paint with a passion. I'm painting on a gesso-primed 6x8 inch pressboard. And you can use anything you want as your canvas. Just make sure to prime any surface that's porous to protect your painting. The first thing I'm doing is mixing up a very dark gray to use as part of the background. We're going to use a technique called stippling to create the background. Say it with me now. Stippling, stippling, stippling. You want a palette that allows enough room to add 3 nice-sized pools of paint right next to each other. And I'm just using an old plastic container lid. You can buy stippling brushes, but personally, I find I get better results with a wide, semi-flat makeup brush for this particular application. Because while it delivers the splotches, it also does just a little bit of blending at the same time. Let the stippling begin. Dip your brush in the middle of the pools of paint and make sure to get all 3 colors loaded on your brush. And then just tap around the canvas in different directions, slightly overlapping where you've just dabbed. Be careful not to apply too much pressure because that can cause your paint to overblend. And try to line up your brush so that when you reload, the colors are on the same area on the brush each time. If you're not happy with how an area turned out, just dab back over it again. The trick with this stippling application, stippling, 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 I know. Anyways, the word just makes me happy. But the trick is to make sure you have colors that stand out against each other. So for instance, if you try this with 3 different shades of yellow, you will just end up with a yellow canvas. Let's leave the upper left corner darker, because that's where we're going to add the web's center. Let's draw on the beginning of the web using a stencil. Place the center of the stencil about 2 inches from the top left corner and trace each of the straight lines. We'll draw on the rest of the web after we have drawn on Eudialyte. Now decide where you want Eudialyte's body to go. Her overall length is going to be around 5 inches for me, so I want to keep that in mind when I pick where to put her body. And now just add the inner circle. My stencil's smallest circle is a 2-inch diameter. Next, let's add her head, and then let's add 10 markers, 2 for fangs, and then 8 for the legs. The best way to explain how to draw the fangs and the legs is to draw them in segments. And each new segment you add should be slightly angled in a different direction. And I think now is a good time to talk about eraser marks. I always use the white polymer erasers that don't leave any orange or any shiny traces. You really can't get those marks off and they stand out. So yeah, make sure to use a good eraser that doesn't leave any skid marks. Using our super skinny fine linen brush, let's paint on Eudialyte. I've included a link in the description area below this video if you're interested in making your own super skinny fine linen brush. Just a quick note, I changed the color of Eudialyte's head to black because I decided to use the red extreme glitter on her head, and black is really the best background for this application. All right, let's draw on the web. I'm just adding little half moons and connecting them, and I added a few random strands just to kind of break it up. I looked at a lot of spiderweb pictures and I noticed that they're not all uniform and a lot of them are pretty random. Starting to look a little spooky, don't you think? I decided to remove half the lines because as the web expanded, it just looked too crowded. I also decided to change the center of the web. Using a light gray and our skinny brush, let's paint on the web. I find it works best for me to rest the side of my hand on a flat surface when I'm painting on the lines. And for this reason, I'm going to switch back and forth to the different sides of the web so that my hand is never resting on wet paint. Next, let's draw on Eudialyte's body pattern. And now let's paint in the pattern. And a quick note, this extreme glitter paint has a glue-like texture, so it works well to actually kind of push it and dab it into place. Now let's apply a very thin coat of the extreme glitter to Eudialyte's head. And using a dotting tool, let's add her eyes. Let's go ahead and erase all the chalk marks. Using a dotting tool about 2 sizes down from the base of her eyes, let's add Eudialyte's eye color. Using black, let's do a little cleanup, and also let's separate the gem pattern. Let's add a little white around the eyes for some definition. Ever so lightly, let's wisp on some leg joints. And while we have the white out, let's add some highlights to the web. And let's clean up the white around the eyes. Okay, so let's add the varnish. Now I'm always talking about how using a sponge roller is the best way to apply varnish. Well, that's still the case. And here she is, Spooky Girl's pet spider, the dangerously beautiful Eudialyte. Look at how gorgeous her gem body is, just stunning. Thank you so much for joining me today to Paint with a Passion. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to painting together again real soon. Let me know what you think, and also let me know what you'd like to see in future tutorials. I hope you have a spooky and safe Halloween, and I wish you peace, love, and happiness now and always.